Today we'll be going over 5 movies that were better than the book they were based on. Let's get into the video. Number 5, The Shining. Unfortunately, Stephen King has made this list twice, but that by no means indicates he is a bad author. In fact, he's one of the best in the game. Quite famously, King hated the famous Stanley Kubrick adaptation of The Shining, and while there is room to understand this argument that Jack Torrance was creepy from the start and that it cut down important themes, it doesn't hold up. The Shining is one of the most iconic films in cinema ever made, and it is frankly a masterpiece. While King's book is decent, Kubrick's film is the first thing the average person thinks of when they hear the title. Even if people haven't seen the film, they likely recognize the imagery and quotes, and besides being memorable, it is simply a top-tier level of filmmaking. While we're at it, the sequel, Dr. Sleep, was also fantastic, both the book and the film.
Like a completely normal individual, but at some point during the winter, he must have suffered some kind of a complete...
Be lots of fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can rest assured, Mr. Ullman, that's not going to happen with me.
Number 4, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Who Censored Roger Rabbit by Gary K. Wolfe probably stood the worst chance of any novel on this list to be as good as a cinematic adaptation. How could any written book about cartoons or comic characters possibly be as enthralling as a visual medium? Oddly enough, the original book wasn't a graphic novel for whatever reason, and it's just a basic mystery novel instead. Robert Zemeckis took advantage of the premise and managed to make one hell of a movie, combining live action with animation with so much attention to detail that the film still holds up to this day. Not only is it hilarious, but it managed to do the impossible, get Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse on screen together.
Rabbit sees stars, not birds. Stars! Can we lose the playback, please? You're killing me. For crying out loud, Roger. Fine. Roger, what's this? A tweeting bird?
Number 3, Blade Runner. Philip K. Dick was one of the most important sci-fi writers on the scene, and he was ahead of his time. Clever in his writing and thought of diverse ideas, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was the basis for Blade Runner and is actually a very good read. However, Ridley Scott's adaptation overshadows it because it's one of the most thought-provoking, gorgeous, and atmospheric sci-fi films out there. With tremendous performances from its whole cast, and to add the cherry on top, Blade Runner 2049 was even better. The exploration of what it means to be a human is fascinating science in the book, but it is beautiful philosophy in the films.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Number 2, Forrest Gump. Most people don't know that Robert Zemeckis' Forrest Gump was a book, and that actually might be for the better. This might be the only entry in this list that involves a pretty subpar book. The Winston Groom book is really only entertaining to read if one has already seen the film, and the book just makes Forrest Gump into an over-the-top clown. He even gets an orangutan sidekick and works with NASA. It's simply a series of crazy things happening to a quirky guy, and while it gets a chuckle here and there, it doesn't leave a lasting impression like the film. At worst, the book can even be a bit mean-spirited. Number 1, Jaws. Peter Benchley's original 1974 novel Jaws is pretty hit and miss. It's entertaining, but it isn't memorable. In contrast, Steven Spielberg's adaptation pretty much defined the blockbuster genre and has made millions of people for generations scared of the water. The film was originally going to be a big, dumb, loud B-movie with a shark on screen for several scenes, but because the mechanical shark was so susceptible to failure, Spielberg had to work around it and instead created the suspenseful masterpiece it is today. Not only that, but Robert Shaw's performance elevated the character of Quint from a diet Captain Ahab into a contemporary ocean legend, and John Williams' iconic score has withstood the test of time. This brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.